Not about politics, parades, or photo ops. It's about what happens when the crowd stops clapping and the battles move inside. We talk a lot about freedom. We thank our troops, but do we really see them? Not just in uniform, but when they're back in civilian clothing, in the aisle next to us at Walmart, at the gas station at 2 a.m. because they can't sleep, or sitting in the corner of a family gathering, eyes scanning like they're still on watch. See, military life doesn't just change your body, it rewires your mind. You're trained to ignore pain, to suck it up, to make it through. But when you train someone to survive anything, sometimes they survive things they were never meant to carry. Deployments, loss, guilt, survivor's remorse, nights spent reliving the worst 48 hours of their life while pretending to be fine by breakfast. One guy we talked to served 3 tours, lost 2 close brothers in combat, spent months afterward thinking he should have been there and had done something different. And then he said, I came home, but I haven't been home since. And what did they give him for the pain? A pat on the back and a bottle of pills. It usually starts with the back or the knees or the shoulder that's been out since basic training. Pain pills become part of your daily routine, not to get high, just to function. Then you run out. Then the pain's still there. So you reach for a drink, then maybe another. Not for fun, but for silence. And that's the cycle. One moment you're a hero, the next you're sitting in the dark wondering how the hell it all went sideways. Most won't talk about it, especially the ones who seem fine. You know why? Because admitting you're hurting in a world that taught you that pain makes you weak, that's the scariest battlefield of them all. TaylorFamily.com and TaylorFamilyTools.com is where we sell the stuff that helps pay for this podcast. It helps pay me for the time and keeps us going. So if you're looking to wear pride, purpose, or pain, check out our shirts, socks, signs, our survival gear on Taylor Family Tools. Everything there is handpicked by folks who've been there. That's my only promo in this episode. The battle doesn't end overseas. For a lot of brothers and sisters, it starts when they come home. They signed the line, they followed the orders, and now they're left fighting alone. But not tonight. Tonight, we see you. Here's a poem I wrote for every one of them. It's called They Signed the Line. They volunteered and signed the line. They gave their youth, their strength, their time. They knew the risk, still made the choice to keep us free, to give a voice. They trained for months, pushed past pain, in mud and sweat through cold and rain. They knew the war was not a game, still stood up tall and took the name. They shipped out far from all they know to face a dark, elusive foe. But shoulder to shoulder, they proudly go, with brothers and sisters in every row. Tired and beat in insane heat, no rest, no peace, just aching feet. 1,000 thoughts they never speak, but still they rise, though feeling weak. They carry scars you'll never see, wounds from war and memory. And when they come home, they still fight through sleepless days and haunted nights. You don't dare forget the price or treat their sacrifices nice. They gave it all, some gave their lives, so freedom here could still survive. The slippery slope from struggle or from survival to struggle. So let's talk about how it really happens. Addiction doesn't just show up wearing a label, doesn't walk in and say, hey, I'm here to ruin your life. No, addiction's quiet. It starts with help, a prescription after a surgery, something to get you through, a rough deployment, something to something for the back pain or the hip or the torn up shoulder from your last airborne trip. And at first it works. You feel functional. You sleep, you move, you get back to work and think, maybe I'm okay. But then you run out. And it's not just the physical pain that returns, it's the mental spiral, the nightmares, the stillness, that feels so loud. We talked to a guy that we'll call Staff Sergeant R. He had 4 deployments under his belt, combat arms, lived through a convoy ambush where half of his team didn't make it, came home with a shattered pelvis and 3 screws in his spine. They gave him a bottle of pills the size of a milk jug, told him to take it easy, but also stay in the fight. 6 months later, the pills were gone, but the pain wasn't. He started washing them down with whiskey, said it helped him sleep. Better drunk than dead, he used to joke. But nobody was laughing when he OD'd in a hotel parking lot. He lived, but he don't joke about it no more. Here's the thing. In military culture, drinking isn't just allowed, it's expected. Promotions, returns, send-offs, and all of them have a drink attached. You're praised for how much you can handle, and if you can't handle it, you keep that quiet because weakness, that's career ending. The data actually backs this up, and I'm going to quote directly from military substance use stats from NIDA, the VA, and the DoD. Binge drinking rates among active duty military are significantly higher than civilian rates, especially among those under 35. 11% of veterans meet the criteria for substance use disorder. More than 1 in 3 veterans with PTSD also have a co occurring addiction. Prescription opioid misuse is twice as high in veterans compared to civilians. And alcohol is still the most commonly abused substance in the armed forces. And yet there's a stigma that keeps most of them silent. Think about that. You serve your country, you sacrifice your health, your youth, your sleep, and when you go to them and you ask for help, you're labeled or marked or side-eyed. So most keep it bottled up until the bottle becomes the only thing they do trust. This is another poem or maybe even a spoken word song that I wrote. It's called Damaged Goods. He hurt his back when the IED blew, felt pain like nothing he ever knew. A roadside bomb by a coward's hand shattered more than he had planned. He knew the risk when he joined the fight. His mama's hands clenched bloodless white. She begged him, son, please do something safe. He just smiled and said, this is my place. He threw his body across the seat, saved the boy on his left from certain defeat. But now he's broken, can barely move. And what he's left with, still got something to prove. They called him damaged goods, sent him home for good. Said thanks for your service, then ditched him in the woods. No ticker tape, no hero's parade, just pills, pain, and memories that won't fade. Society don't want a man whose job was death in foreign land. So he keeps it quiet, because speaking out, that's when the whispers start and the world backs out. The pain in his back, that's a real all right. But the demon is in his head, they own the night. So he takes the pills to avoid the cops, tries to survive till the screaming stops. He says, what shuts them up? Those voices, those noise. M16 fire. Let's get us some boys. But broken men, they ain't done. They still got fire and work to be done. He found a new purpose, a different fight. Now he stands tall in a new kind of light. At the range, he walks the line, teaching the youth one round at a time. This ain't a toy, he tells the crew. It's life and death, and it's up to you. He shows them form, teaches control, but deeper still, he shapes their soul. He says, the weapons wait. It ain't just still. Respect it, son. Know what you feel. And pray to God you never have to kill. He's still a soldier, just changed his post. Now shaping lives. That's what he does most. His war ain't done, but he's found his lane. A warrior reborn with purpose from pain. Segment 3 is coming home, the war that follows you. They tell you you made it back, but what they don't say is welcome to the next fight. Maybe the bigger one, maybe even the harder one. Because coming home from war isn't peace. It's transition. It's confusion. It's like walking out of a hurricane into a church and being told to sit still, smile, and just blend in. The rhythm's off. The air's too quiet. The smiles, they feel fake. And the only place you ever felt whole is thousands of miles away in a combat zone you swore you would never return to. One guy said to me I was overseas getting shot at and I knew what to do. I had a mission, a uniform, a rank. Now in my kitchen, staring at a microwave, wondering what the hell am I going to do? You go from a team to avoid, from a purpose to paperwork, from the brotherhood to the benefits office. And everyone tells you just move on, just get a job, go to school. You're back now. But how do you move on from something that still wakes you at 3 a.m.? Veterans are trained for chaos, but no one trains them for silence. And the silence, that's heavy. And it's probably the loudest thing they'll ever hear. The facts about the home front war: over 40% of veterans say that they have trouble adjusting to civilian life. Veterans with PTSD, oh, by the way, you know what? I'm going to back up there. Over 40% of veterans say they have trouble adjusting to civilian life, and 40% lie. Veterans with PTSD are more than twice as likely to be unemployed or underemployed. Suicide rates are 50% higher for veterans than for civilians. Roughly 17 veterans a day die from suicide. Many report feeling isolated, misunderstood, and purposeless after discharge. They don't know what to do. And then there's the stigma. If you admit you're struggling, people assume you're weak. If you don't talk about it, you suffer in silence. Either way, you fucking lose. But here's the truth: struggling after trauma isn't weakness, it's human. It takes more strength to ask for help than to carry a burden alone until it crushes you. General James Mattis said, you cannot allow any of your people to avoid brutal facts. If you have cancer, you don't get better by pretending you don't. Mental trauma is a cancer. PTSD, depression, addiction, guilt. It eats you from the inside out. But just like cancer, when caught early, when treated, when faced head on, it doesn't have to be fatal. The war might never fully leave you, but healing, that's a fight worth showing up for. In the next segment, we're going to talk about that fight, the climb back, the slow, gritty, uphill return to purpose, healing and hope. Stick around. I'm not going to do a music break, which I had planned. I'm going to skip that for now and we'll just go on. Recovery, brotherhood, and the climb back. So, what happened after the breaking point? What happened after the bottle is empty, the pills stop working, and the silence gets too loud? You fight back. It pisses you off. It's time to take control. But this time it's not with boots and bullets. It's not with mission briefs and targets. It's with vulnerability, accountability, and community. Recovery doesn't start with rehab, it starts with a whisper. That whisper is usually, I can't do this alone, but I want to change. And for warriors who've been told to be strong, stoic, and silent their whole life, that's the bravest damn sentence in the world. Veterans who struggle with both PTSD and substance use disorder have a much higher rate of relapse without peer support. Programs that include group therapy and veteran to veteran mentorships show 30 to 40% better outcomes. Fitness based therapy and purpose driven recovery, like volunteering or teaching, drastically reduce isolation and suicidal thoughts. Veterans who remain active in peer communities for 6 months post rehab are more than twice as likely to maintain a long term sobriety. But here's what they don't tell you: Recovery doesn't feel like success. It feels like failure at first. It feels like withdrawal, shame, starting over, facing every ghost you've ever been running from. They'll sit in the corner and stare at you at night. But it also feels like one deep breath after years of suffocation. The climb back is slow. It's dirty. It's frustrating. You'll lose friends who don't understand. Trust me, I know. You'll hit walls. You'll relapse. You'll want to quit. It all happens. Trust me, I know. But one day, you'll wake up and you realize you made it 24 hours without a drink. You'll laugh with your kid and not fake it. You'll start building instead of running. And that right there, that's the win. That day, that moment, that's the win. The power of brotherhood. You were never meant to carry this weight alone. Healing is a team effort. Brotherhood doesn't end when the mission does. And sometimes your new team doesn't wear camo. They wear jeans and sit in folding chairs on Tuesday nights at the VA, where they call you at 2 a.m. to say, don't do it, bro. Just breathe. The new mission's healing. The new war is within. And the new victory, it's living life. They're your fallen brothers, the ones you promised. You told them that you would do something with your life. Now it's time that you make them proud. This is a poem or spoken word song that I wrote. It's called The Climb Back. The climb back to reality ain't easy. I'm going to restart. The climb back to reality ain't no easy walk. It's not a quick fix, and it damn sure ain't just talk. It's not a hop, not a skip or a glide. It's more like a leap or a hard ass dive. Your mind's spin wild. You're trying to survive through race sideways while you fight to stay alive. And back here at home, you're expected to thrive, but nobody told you how hard it would be to feel alive. You fight for normal, you fight for sleep, and some nights you fight just not to weep. Brother, it ain't weak to feel like that. You're just carrying weight most couldn't combat. As you build your life on this stateside track, remember one thing: I got your back. Life hits softer when you've got a loyal wife, a steady hand, and a storm in life. Find that support out there, whether it's a buddy, wife, however you're going to get there. Start there, work from that. If you're listening to this and you're still breathing, then you're still in the fight. Plain and simple. If you're hearing my words and you're still breathing, you are still in the fight. Even if you think that you've hit the end, that you've gave up, you haven't yet, and you can start anew. Don't give up before the miracle happens. Keep climbing. I'll climb with you. What you've heard in this episode isn't just stories, it's real life for millions of warriors. It's what happened when discipline meets trauma, when service becomes silence, when the uniform comes off, but the weight stays on. Some never make it back, not physically, not emotionally, and not because they're weak, but because no one ever taught them how to heal. So if you're listening right now and this felt familiar, I want you to know you're not alone. I'm here. There's another 100 million of me out there, and we'll be here for you. You've carried the load long enough. Now it's time to add some of that weight to the brotherhood that gets it. A community that's been there. A movement that refuses to let another warrior fall without a fight. So I'm going to go on and read the last thing. It's called Blue Collar Blood. I wrote it a while ago. It's kind of for all blue collar people, and like I've said, I always consider the military to be blue collar people. And I do want to remember or remind you guys, check out taylorfamily.com, taylorfamilytools.com. You can find me on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Clapper, Lemonade, X, Truth, Flip. I'm on all of them. I try to get the word out as much as I can. My videos are out there. Some of them are funny, some of them are serious, some of them are just jokes. Sometimes I make fun of myself, sometimes I make fun of other people. But you can spend hours on my page. If you found it new right now, I guarantee you wouldn't think about much more than that while you were reading it because there's so much there. We're building something real, or at least I'm trying. I raised 6 children. I failed at 2 marriages. I have 2 grandkids and I have 1 on the way. And I want to make something that they could be proud of, a legacy for them. Healing aid isn't always done in hospitals. Sometimes it starts with conversation and a little blue collar blood. Why is it that blue collar men so often come from broken homes again and again? Born into chaos, fists instead of hugs, where love gets replaced with shoulder shrugs. We grew up fast in a world gone cold, learned things young that should never ever be told. No soft escape, no easy way, and yet we chose jobs where your hands bleed every damn day. We got blue collar blood running deep through our veins, taught to carry silence, taught to carry pain, addicted to the fight or a bottle or a flame. We ain't broken, just tired of playing the game. You see a man worn down, but you don't ask why. You just say he's hard, not that he wants to cry. But there's love buried deep in the dirt and the mud. Yeah, it's hard to be raised on blue collar blood. From alcoholic fathers to hands that hit, we're still paying the price for things we never did. We carry burdens that ain't even ours. We wear pain like old work scars. They said, don't be weak, don't ever fold. But they never taught us how to hold a child's hand or speak with grace. Just grit your teeth and hide your face. We got blue collar blood running deep through our veins, taught to carry silence, taught to carry pain, addicted to the fight or a bottle or a flame. We ain't broken, just tired of playing the game. You see a man worn down, but you don't ask why. You just say it's hard, not that he wants to cry. But there's love buried deep in the dirt and the mud. Yeah, it's hard to be raised on blue collar blood. We want our boys to grow up strong, but not carry our wrong. Yeah, teach them to fight, to protect what's right. But why can't we teach them that love can win the fight? Let them cry, let them dream, let them speak, let them be soft and still be sleek. We got blue collar blood, and it's thick with pride. We don't run, we stand and we ride. We loved in silence, we've hurt alone, but we still built this country stone by stone. So if you see us quiet, don't mistake it for cold. We're just carrying what our fathers always sold. This ain't weakness, it's a legacy flood. Where we were made, we were forged in blue collar blood. From Taylor family and my family to yours, this podcast is for the tired, the bruised, the